All right, good morning. November 23rd, 2022. A beautiful morning here in Georgia. Kind of a little cloudy this morning. I'd say it's around 45 degrees. Going to be a beautiful day. And we're busy here on the farm. Out and getting a lot of things done. I'm going to do a little keto snack here. Alright, let me show you how I do this. Now I got a bowl here and I put a little bit of cooking spray. That's a vegetable oil cooking spray, and rubbed it around in there. Now this is cheese. This is the kind we get, I guess, at Walmart or Food Line or somewhere like that. Put it in the bowl. Now I'm gonna jazz it up just a little bit, 'cause I'm a little bit hungry and I've been kind of cheating on my keto a little bit. Not too much, but gained a pound or two. It's mostly water, because when you eat sugar or carbohydrates, it causes your body to swell and you retain water. Swelling is not good. That's an indication that something's wrong. This is some of that processed cheese here that you get. I don't know if it's really cheese or not. I hope it is. Putting some of this stuff right here on it. This is just jazzing it up for me. You may not like that. These are peppers. This type of pepper. Paprika is a mild pepper, and the chipotle is a little bit more. Now what we're going to do, put this in the microwave, and we're going to cook it until it becomes kind of crusty. And then you can let it cool off a little, and you can actually pry it out of the bowl, and it's an actual crusty kind of cheese. Very tasty, very delicious. So why not just eat the cheese? Well, this is tasty right here. This is good. You got to kind of play with it. Now, a minute's not going to do much to it, so I'm going to put a minute, and we'll look at it. I'll get back to you in just a minute. All right, that's after 1 minute there, okay? Now you see that's all melted and all that, but we got a ways to go. It's actually getting crusty a little bit around the edges right there. We're going to go again. I say for another minute. And we'll get back to you. Alright, I put it in for another minute. And then I put it in for 30 seconds, and I'm checking. Now you see it's getting hard now. Alright, what I'm going to do is try to see if I can extract that from the bowl. I might have gone a little bit too far. It'll still be good. Oh yeah, you can get the spoon under it, see? And it'll actually come out of there. There it comes. And there we go. You got your little cake. Now we'll just take this and let it cool off a little. And then we'll see what it tastes like. A little keto snack. Let me tell you, there was a famous book. I call it famous, but it's not famous in the sense that anybody's ever heard of it, but just people that pay attention to this keto and this carbohydrate oversupply that we have in the modern world. But this book was put out by a English military doctor that had served in Africa back when England was colonizing Africa. And he kept very good notes of what was going on. And he noted that when he first got there to Africa, the natives were essentially untouched by Western civilization. They were in the state that they were in before the so-called white man. And he served 20 years like people do in the military and in the civil service. And by the time he left 20 years later, the native people had become accustomed to trading with the whites and the army and had gotten a lot of the delicacies to them that the English people ate, which would have been a lot of sugar and different carbohydrate type products. The doctor noted that when he first got there, the people were in the best shape of any human beings that he had ever seen. Cancer was essentially unknown to them. Tooth decay was not present. He said, the doctor noted that they didn't have varicose veins in their old age like the English people did. But by the time he left 20 years later, he noticed that the natives were showing up at the clinic with beginning to have some of these diseases that were common among the English population. So he attributed it to the diet because he couldn't see that anything else had changed. And when he retired, he passed his notes on to the next doctor that was going to serve 20 years. And so they had a 40-year study over there. And the name of the book, if you want to get it, it really tells the story. It's called Saccharin, the Master Disease. Now, saccharin is kind of the scientific name for sugar. You know, there's an artificial sweetener called saccharin, but this is the saccharin. Saccharides are sugars. Saccharin, the Master Disease. And you can find that book on Amazon or whoever sells books and probably buy it for just a few dollars. And you can get the real story of the refined carbohydrates, sugar, molasses. Probably alcohol to a certain extent behaves in a similar way. And we know that drinking a bunch of alcohol is not good for you. I would get that book and read it. I got it probably 20 or 30 years ago, and that started me on my journey to understanding how bad excessive carbohydrates was for the body. There was also another more modern guy named Dr. Atkins that wrote a book back in the 70s, The Atkins Diet Revolution. And it tells a similar story. And if you go back in the literature, you'll find out that back as early as 1900, some doctors were pointing out the ills of the carbohydrates. Now see, the reason that didn't bother people in the old days is they had trouble getting a hold of that many carbohydrates. Every now and then somebody would find a honeybee, a honey hive, and that didn't take long for that to get gone. But as the Industrial Revolution came along, and industrial farming, they began to be able to make more sugar, and it began to be not just the aristocrat and wealthy people that got a lot of sugar, but then it began to go to the poor people, and they then began to get these illnesses more. Saccharin, the Master Disease. Now this is my keto snack right here. Now I'm going to break it and show you how it's almost like a little loaf. Now I probably cooked that just a tiny bit too much, but yeah, I did, but it's still darn good. My keto snack. Now, I put that pepper on there. Debbie don't like hot stuff. It's not real hot. I'm gonna just take a little bit. I cooked it a little bit too much.
Oh, that. I guess it's too hot for me. So,
You don't have to put all that pepper in it. Alright, this is Gardener Israel. Telling you about the keto situation. Hope I can talk to you again soon.